PC fam, welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. After another amazing day of basketball, you can expect to have some real good hoop talks. We're going to open the lobby up. I'm going to send the link out, and y'all know what y'all can do. Y'all can get up here and chill with chill. Today, we will be talking about the best basketball team in Texas. Now, I know a couple weeks ago, I mentioned a team that will be the worst basketball team in Texas. As of now, that's up for grabs. But we know who the best basketball team in Texas is as of today, y'all. Let's talk about that for a little bit before we get into some other topics. We have a bunch of games to talk about from last night, but chill. Let's talk about the San Antonio Spurs, a young team without who I assume is going to be their starting league guard in De'Aaron Fox. Hasn't played yet. Chill, this basketball team yesterday played against a pretty determined New Orleans Pelicans team. It went to overtime, an overtime in which Victor Wembanyama fouled out in the first minute, and they were still able to be victorious. Jill, what can you say about this team? These youngsters, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper. What is it about this team, Jill?
I think the thing most importantly about them is Wemby. So when you have a guy that's that big and that's that dynamic, that covers so much space, not just on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, he makes those guys so much better. He gives them confidence that they didn't have in the past because he covers so much space. So now, like last night, for example, Devin Vassell threw him a lob. He probably wouldn't throw that lob to Luke Cornett, right? He wouldn't throw that lob to Mamu. So with having a guy like having a guy like Wemby on the floor, he gives me so much.
Real quick, Char, are you connected to your Shure mic? Or I think it's coming out. I think you're connected to your computer.
You know what the problem is, Ox? How about I bring the mic over here? How about that for an idea? That might help. That might help me sound better if I brought the mic over here. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to what we were talking about. So I think that the San Antonio Spurs, what they do with having Wemby, those young guys, he gives them a level of confidence that they didn't have. He gives them a level of confidence on offense, on defense that they didn't have. Like I said, Luke Cornett, I'm not throwing him that lob if he's running to the rim like Wemby. I'm just throwing it up and Wemby's going to go get it. On defense, I'm watching Devin Vassell. I'm watching Castle be so much more aggressive on the wing against so much more aggressive on the wing against Jordan Poole, basically trying to beat him up the line to not get the ball because he's not worried about getting beat back door because I got Wemby behind me. And if I got Wemby behind me, he's going to clean up my mess. This young San Antonio team, which for all intents and purposes is young, they're going to have to go. They're going to have some growing pains. And they got beat up yesterday, even though they won, but they got beat up yesterday by a Zion Williamson. That's a bowling ball, right? I think Zion is getting back to he's trying to get back to what he was when he was younger. And I think it's working. But I feel like this team on every level, I think that Wemby gives them the confidence that they didn't have in the past. And because he gives them the confidence that they didn't have, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, Ox. They're going to be a team that we're going to have to deal with in the Western Conference.
Definitely. It was an amazing game. Wemby was one block away from a triple-double. So,
what does that mean, Ox? Like, what are you talking about, Ox? What did you just say? I want to make sure I heard you correctly. 1 block away? So that means he had 9 blocks yesterday.
Yeah, 9 blocks. I think he had 9 blocks, 11 rebounds, and 29 points or 20. Let me see.
29 points is correct, Ox. Yeah, with 29, 11, points, and 9 blocks.
11, yeah, I had it right. Yeah.
Unbelievable with this guy. Unbelievable. This guy is incredible. He is. I think that when you run it with somebody like that, that makes me just better. There's a reason why Kenny Smith, there's a reason why Drex, there's a reason why Vernon Maxwell was the players that they were. Because I'm running with Lajuan. There's a reason why Sean Elliott and these dudes was better. Because I'm running with David Robinson. When I'm running with Shaq, I stick my chest out a little bit more. I talk a little bit more. I walk a little taller, right? So when I'm running with Wemby, I do things that I wouldn't normally do because he covers so much space. And now my margin of error goes from this to this.
Right.
where I can make mistakes and he could clean up a lot of this. Even though I'm talking about a guy that's 22 years old, he could clean up a lot of the stuff that I do wrong. And I think that this San Antonio Spurs team, Ox, they are going this way. Now, I think you might be a little extra on them being the best team in Texas. I think you might be a little extra on that, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that in a little while, chill. We'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking about as currently constructed.
Yep.
But chill. Let's head out east. We'll bring it back west, y'all. But let's head out east.
Mm-hmm.
Last night we saw Giannis Antetokounmpo, a guy who I got a feeling you think has not been getting enough attention in this early season. I know it's only been 2 games for most teams, but I mean Giannis has had some pretty dominant performances. And last night he took that dominance to the Toronto Raptors. So what do you think about Giannis Antetokounmpo? And I mean, is there anything that could be done with this guy?
Well, first of all, Ox, I think that we have a tendency when we have guys who are so awesome, we take them for granted because we're just expecting it. So because we expect it, we don't really marvel at it like we should. That's why a couple of days ago, when you saw Wemby do what Wemby did, everybody was like, oh my God, it's going to come a time when if Wemby can hold up physically, Wemby's going to go 29, 13, and 5 blocks, and it's going to be ho-hum, and it's going to be nothing to you guys. That's what's going on with Giannis right now. I'm watching them play. I'm watching them play Toronto last night. I was flipping back and forth because I got my league pass in effect. And I'm flipping back and forth. So now I'm watching the Toronto Raptors, and Giannis is almost I don't want to use the word coasting, Knox, because coasting sounds like he wasn't playing hard. No, he was basically buying his time to know when to turn it on. So he was getting involved in the game. He's getting downhill. He's getting guys like Trent involved in the game, who I think Trent is one of the smartest basketball players for what his role is. I think he's great in that role. I'm watching him play off of Anthony Cole, and it doesn't look like he's not that he's not playing hard, because he 100% plays as hard as anybody. Like when I talk about the hardest playing guys, Russell Westbrook, Dennis Rodman, guys that got that kind of motor, he's playing that hard. But it doesn't seem like it because he's picking times when to turn it on. And it seems like he's become a smarter basketball player in that aspect. But Ox, I'll tell you right now, when he got going, when he started to turn it up, it was nothing that Toronto could do. Toronto, I thought, did a good job in trying to keep him out of the lane. They loaded up the right side of the floor, but they couldn't do anything with him in transition. They couldn't do anything with him on the glass. He made space like big men do, like I've said to you countless times. He played like a big man. In addition to him playing like a big man, he made his presence felt. Ox, this is the 4th straight year. And I want to make sure that you people at home listen to me here. This is the 4th straight year that Giannis is averaging 30, 10, and 5. Nobody has done that. Not in the league today, not in the last 5 years, not in the last 20 years, ever. And we don't talk about Giannis nearly as much as we should. Ox thinks he's the best player in the world.
He had 30, 20, and 7 last night.
And nobody's talking about. Ox thinks he's the best player in the world.
I do.
Ox thinks he's the best player on the planet. And when I watch Giannis, I feel like what he's doing, because he's been doing it for a while, it's just become ho-hum, like it's nothing. When in reality, this guy is nothing short of incredible. Right. Nothing short of incredible. I just marvel at, like last night, for example, he had one play where he got downhill and the defense collapsed on him. He fires the ball over his left shoulder because he's on the right wing. He fires the ball over his left shoulder to Gary Trent, who I didn't even see him over there. And he ends up knocking down the shot. And I'm like, how did he see him with the defense collapsed on him like that? It was incredible. I even jumped off a bridge. This was 2 years ago. I jumped off a bridge and I said that he was a better offensive player than Joker. And I came back down. But to be honest with you, at the time when I said it, I don't think it was ridiculous. I don't think it was ridiculous when I said what I said about him. I
Why is
don't.
that ridiculous? I don't. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't understand why you came. Why you came down off of that hill. I was. I feel you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. With that take.
yeah.
Not at all. Chill. I understand Giannis, right? I'm with you on Giannis. Like you said, and I backed. I think Giannis is the best basketball player walking. But my problem is the Bucks. Now I want to ask you, can the Bucks expect 23 points from Cole Anthony off the bench? Can they expect 20 points from Gary Trent? Is that something that we can expect from these guys? I mean, Giannis is carrying a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He is.
can we expect his teammates, especially Cole Anthony, to play like this on the regular?
Well, I've always been a Cole Anthony fan. I thought that Cole Anthony is one of the better backup lead guards in the game. I think he can get downhill with the best of them. I think he takes care of the basketball with some of the best of them. I think his issue has always been that he plays outside of himself from time to time, and that throws a monkey wrench in what his crew does. When he's playing within himself, playing within the offense, getting to spots where he's the most effective, like last night. I think he did a great job in taking advantages of mismatches. I think Doc Rivers did a good job in putting him in space where both him and Giannis, who has not been a good screener over the course of his career, put him in space where he can create or he can mismatch hunt. And he was doing that. And with him getting those big guys on the wing, taking them to the rim, especially in transition. And I thought that with Cole Anthony, I felt like with Cole Anthony, I thought that he played within not just the scheme, but within himself. Like he didn't do anything outside of what makes him good. That's what gets him in trouble. Now, to answer your question, Ox, I don't think that they need 23 a game from him off the bench. No KPJ last night, right? So if KPJ plays, I think that's more production that you're going to get from this Milwaukee team. I think that you're underselling them, Ox, off the strength, not just because Giannis is as good as he is, because I think he's the engine, right? I think he's the guy who powers everything that they do. But I thought Bobby Portis, one of the better rotation players, also gave them quality minutes, right? I thought that they put him in space last night against Toronto where he was knocking down that mid-range, and I think that was part of the scheme. I think that's where he's at his best. Same thing, not just with Cole Anthony, because Kuzma ended up leaving the game. Same thing with Miles Turner. I thought that they did a good job with having Miles Turner on the wing and expanding the defense. That gave Giannis the ability to get downhill. And with Giannis getting downhill, that just opened up the offense way more. I think this rotation is a lot better than people give them credit for. This backup lead guard kid, Hollins, that Milwaukee has, I think he's great, Ox. I do. I think he's great. I think their rotations are great. I think they can put Doc Rivers in a space where he doesn't have to do too much, because I think Doc gets himself in trouble when he has to coach too much. And I don't think in this particular situation, he doesn't have to coach that much. I mean, you can appreciate overcoaching. And I think in this particular situation, I don't think he has to overcoach. You don't need great players to undercoach, but I mean, you don't need great players to tone down your coaching. You just need guys to stay within what they do. And I think that he can do that with this Milwaukee Bucks team.
Right. Okay. Well, I was gonna save some of the super chats till later, but Teddy Hart sent the $50 super chat, and so you guys know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Jumps the line, and we get straight to it. And this is actually pertaining to the title in the San Antonio Spurs and the current topic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Teddy Hart wants to know, if you're San Antonio, do you at least entertain the thought of a Giannis pairing? They have the second most picks besides OKC. I get the logic of being patient so the young guys develop, but you could do the Magic Johnson route and try competing for a trophy ASAP. Also followed that up with part 2. Everyone can see a real rebuild is likely in the Bucks' near future.
Well, I can tell you what. I can tell you one thing: the Bucks ain't trying to hear that. I don't know if you know this, Ox, but the Milwaukee, they have a Giannis corner, and this is in downtown Milwaukee. And I've said this to you in the past that basically Giannis is Michael Jackson. He's Prince. He's the name on the moniker. If you think that I'm handing him over to anybody and it doesn't make sense to me, you are crazy. Like it may sound great for you guys, a Giannis Wemby pairing. There's no way that the Milwaukee Bucks with what they have. Remember what we're talking about here. We ain't talking about Los Angeles. We ain't talking about New York. We're talking about Milwaukee. They haven't had a guy like Giannis since Jabbar. That was 50 years ago. So because that happened, we probably aren't going to get that again. So if you want me to hand over Giannis, you have to give me something to substantiate that. And I don't think that I know for a fact the Spurs don't have anything to give them to get Giannis. Would it look good? I'm not going to argue that point. I think it would look fantastic, Ox. Yes. Getting Giannis and Wemby together, yes. But would Milwaukee do that? No. You want Giannis? Hand over the big fella. That's what it's going to be. Definitely. You want Giannis? Hand over the big fella.
Well, chill. I will say this, and I don't think I'll get too much pushback. Just to show some respect, real quick. No, they haven't had anybody like that since Chamberlain, but they did have Jabari Parker.
They did have Jabari Parker.
If it wasn't for those knees, man. If it wasn't for those knees,
you know what's crazy, Ox? What's crazy is that he was actually plan A. Like Giannis was insurance. Right. I don't think people remember that. Like the plan was to build around Parker. Right. Giannis was the insurance policy. Like we hope that this kid turns into something. That's really what it was.
Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
They did have Jabari, but
yes, they did.
Chill. I would argue now if I'm just gonna go with my initial instincts of what I think this Milwaukee Bucks team is gonna be. I do think they're riding a little high right now. I do think this is gonna taper down. I think this might turn into a situation where Giannis might get a little frustrated. Like, man, I can't carry you guys to the finish line. If Giannis gets a little frustrated up there in Milwaukee, I do think that San Antonio has enough players and more than enough picks to interest, just at least to interest the Bucks.
So we don't have to do anything. You're just talking about sparking my interest. Like you'll pick the telephone up and you'll listen, is what you're saying.
Right. Well, I mean, you have to listen if Giannis becomes a little frustrated, if the record ends up below 500, around the trade deadline, and Giannis is showing signs of frustration and even speaking about that frustration. I think that can interest the Bucks too. They have a lot of young players. And when I say a lot of young players, I'm talking about Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, and Stephon Castle. And they have so many picks. And I think also Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper, they're making Foxy expendable. So if
I've never bought into that logic.
Well, I mean, I think if you have Giannis and Wemby, you don't have to have Foxy to be a squad.
No, we don't. That's fair. Sure.
Stephon Castle could hold it down. So if it's like if we got to come off of De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes just to make the money right, and then 5 first-round picks,
right?
I think that could interest the Bucks. That's all I'm saying. As of today, I think the Bucks are kind of like, nah, we're good. We're good right now. But if things get a little shaky up there in Milwaukee, chill, I would not doubt that that's a possibility.
Well, I can tell you right now, Ox, and I pull no punches with this. He's going to have to ask out. That's the only way that this is going. He is going to have to ask out. I'm not dealing him. Anybody that calls and asks for him, we're not interested. Now, again, Ox, I can appreciate your proposal of 5-1s, hand over a couple of these young guys. I can tell you right now, Dallas called and they checked our temperature and asked how you feel about handing over Giannis for Luka. Click. No, thank you. Nope. Right. No, thank you. Right. We good. Not to say that Luka isn't fantastic, because he is, but no, thank you. Think we good.
Right. And I don't know either way if that's even something that would happen, but the fact that it's been thrown around a couple times, I'm just trying to give it, just trying to entertain it hypothetically in my mind, like how could that work out? And I'm with you. Obviously, it could only work out if Giannis wants it to work out. You don't trade Giannis Antetokounmpo. You don't do that. That's a fireable offense. In fact, it's mandatory firing.
on the spot.
Mandatory firing. Yeah, right
Because
there.
this isn't
Like,
the same issue with Luka, where we have issues of conditioning, we have issues of your game not being up to par in order for us to win. Like, you're not looking at Giannis going, we're not winning with him playing like this. No, you're not looking at Giannis like that. So if you're moving off of Giannis, you're moving off of Giannis because something's wrong with you. That's the issue. You ain't moving off of Giannis for no other reason. And to your point, you 100% will be fired on the spot because this
oh
isn't the
yeah,
same issue as Luka.
this
No.
this isn't the coming to office. Let's talk firing. This is I'm calling. I'll text you. Say, hey, don't. You're fired. I'll fire you through text on something like
Yeah.
this. Don't even come pack up your office. We got some professionals packing it up right now. They'll hand deliver it to you. Don't ever show up in this facility again.
Security, come get him.
Yeah, and if you do show up to the door, you are getting thrown out Uncle Phil style. You know,
Get him up
Uncle
out of
Phil
here.
style,
Get
definitely.
him up out of here.
Oh,
Yes,
man,
sir.
that's insane.
Mhm.
We got some more games from last night to talk about. We're still gonna make our way back to the San Antonio Spurs, but in the meantime, let's see what my man Classic got to say. Let's get Classic up to the stage. Where's Classic? Classic, what's
What
up,
up?
brother?
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
What up? What up? Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Wemby real quick, man. I think I was completely wrong about Wemby, man. He's amazing, and like the extra stuff he does offensively, like the dribbling and the shooting. Honestly, like that's just extra stuff to me that he don't even need. Like if he couldn't shoot and couldn't dribble, I still think right now he'd probably still be in the conversation for the best player in the league just because of how good he is defensively.
Mhm.
Like what he did to Zion last night, that was kind of insane to me. Seeing Zion try to go up on him like that, like 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, and
And
he's
in
blocking
one possession.
everything.
In
Yeah,
one
and he's
possession, by the
blocking
way.
everything.
Yeah,
Like when you can do that defensively, like honestly, it don't even matter to me what you do on offense. Like that's just how good I think he is. So
he is.
man, I'm huge. I'm huge on Wemby now, man. I actually think the Spurs can easily win the West if he can stay healthy. I wouldn't try to pair him with Giannis. I wouldn't mess that up at all. I think Giannis makes that team worse. I think you should just let Wemby do what he do. Let him control the paint. Let him do what he do on offense. You don't need another superstar over there. They
Classic, you
good
think
where
that
they
they
at
could
right now.
easily win? You think that they could easily win the West? So do
Yeah,
you
with the
comfortable?
with the athleticism they got, Dylan Harper,
Hmm.
he looks good too. I didn't really think he was that good, but
Hmm.
every time I see him play, he's making the right decisions. He's making like he's good at finishing in the paint and stuff. I
Yeah.
wouldn't bring another superstar over there. I would let those young guys try to figure it out themselves, especially how good they look now. They could be like you see OKC was the youngest team to win the championship last year. So
Hmm.
why can't the Spurs be one of the youngest teams that win the championship? With the way they're playing defense, when they got probably the best defensive player we have probably ever seen in
Do
our
they
life.
have enough on defense though? I mean, you might have the best defensive player in the game, right? You might have that, but do you have enough defensively overall to win the Western Conference overall?
Yeah,
Because
I
again,
believe so.
that's interesting.
And then
I
they
Well, I
got
I
a
mean,
don't
they
good
got
they got a good big off the bench too, because y'all know how I feel about Luke Cornett.
I
So
do
they
know
also
that.
got another big coming off the bench that's good. I think they got everything they need right now to win the championship if Wimby stays healthy. That's the big thing.
chill.
Def-
As far as defense goes, chill. I mean, you got Stephon Castle, you got Wemby,
sure. Hmm.
you got the big fella from Boston.
Hmm.
Even when Harrison
Cornette.
Barnes gets minutes, he's still a plus defender. You got the young fella Carter Bryant, who's not getting much minutes, and he probably won't get too much more, especially when Foxy comes around.
Sochan.
So Chan, I think you got a lot of defenders, chill, if they're bought in.
I just think that with this, I think that with this group, to your point, and you made an interesting point about this. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But I'm thinking that the way teams like Oklahoma City are going to play, right? The way that the Denver Nuggets are going to play offensively, how much better are they going to be than the San Antonio Spurs? I think Wemby gives you an element that you don't have. I'm not going to argue that point, but we can't run our offense through Wemby and just expect Wemby every night to be or to match Joker or to match Kevin Durant in that Houston offense or to match Oklahoma City. What they we I don't think that we can. I don't think that we can ask Wemby to do that right now. I think that that's a bit much because I don't think he's that polished offensively. And defensively, I think that these guys are good. I do. And I think Wemby makes up for a lot of their mistakes. But Wemby also, who has gotten better defensively, he still has his flaws. Yes, he does. He still has his flaws. And I think that this is something that Oklahoma City, I think Denver, I think teams like that, I think Dallas later on, I think they'll be able to exploit.
How old is Wemby now?
20, he'll be 22 in
20. Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
in
he's because I was
January.
about to say he's reaching that age chill with the way you say this is who guys are, that 25 age. But man, from what I've
No,
seen, I'm ready
not
to
yet.
see him play the Nuggets because if Jokic want to shoot, he gonna have to shoot them 13 threes again because he's not getting nothing in the paint on Wemby now. Like this Wemby that I'm seeing this year, Jokic he's not getting nothing in that paint this year. So Jokic better find his shot, or I'm not worried about the Nuggets at all. I really
Yeah.
think that the Spurs can easily win the West if Wemby stay healthy, just because of the defense. I don't even really
Yeah.
care what he does offensively. That's just how good I think he is defensively.
Okay. All right, Classic. We appreciate your comments as
Good to talk to you,
always.
brother. Absolutely. Good to
All
talk
right,
to
man.
you.
Y'all have a good one.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, thanks, you too. Chill, how do you feel about that? Jokic has to shoot threes. He can't get none in the paint on Wemby. Or do you feel the same way?
No, I don't feel the same way. I mean, Joker, even though he does stretch the defense, Joker is one of the most physical bigs. And as long as Wemby is, right, and as much ground as Wemby covers, I think there's something to be said about being a physical big and wearing on a guy. And I think Joker, who for all intents and purposes has been great at that. He's been great around the rim. His footwork is impeccable, and he creates a lot of space. Even though Wemby is, he's got an 8-foot wingspan. I mean, I think Wemby skilling him to death on that block, being able to bang on him, I think he could wear him down ultimately.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think when you have a guy that's that big, that long, you have to be a
Yeah.
physical force. Like Zion showed us some of that last night.
Yep.
Zion definitely was hitting Wemby and taking the physicality to him. And I think that's the pretty much. I think that's the only way to play.
That's the only way, Ox. That's it.
You brought up those guys in Dallas and how. And we've seen it before too. In the previous seasons where guys will start penetrating the defense and see Wemby and kind of U-turn, get out of there. Like no, you got you see that chest, you go straight at it. And I think that's the best way to play against Victor Wembanyama. And I think Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, and even Giannis Valanciunas, I think they know that, and I think they'll do that. But that's not to take anything away because I think Wemby will still be a force on that defensive end. Let's talk about some more games from last night. I want to specifically talk about the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets. Chill. What are the Rockets missing? I mean, Kevin Durant goes for 37 last night.
Yeah.
And they just can't close it out. Chill. I want to ask you about a specific play down in the end of at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Because Chill, me and you went back and forth about this, and I said they need somebody in these crunch time possessions to be able to facilitate the offense and get Kevin Durant the ball. Well, last night Kevin Durant had 37 points, and at the end of the game in crunch time, you see him facilitating the offense and getting Alperen Sengun the ball, who ultimately got shut down, and Paul Reed, I believe it was Paul Reed, got a good block on him, and that was pretty much the game right there. Chill. What is that? What are we looking for in Houston, and what do they need to switch up? Because this team is obviously very talented, and they should not, in my opinion, should not be 0-2 right now.
No, they shouldn't be. And I think that what Coach Udoka is doing, this is a growing pain. This is exactly what I talked to you about when I said that give the kid the ball, and there's going to be some growing pains that you're going to have with him. I mean, he played the whole fourth quarter last night, right? It wasn't like Amen Thompson only played 3. No, he played the entire fourth quarter. And I think that the way he deciphers the defense, because you can see, because I saw him speed the game up, but the way he deciphers the defense at this stage and the fact that he still doesn't see how to get guys involved. I mean, a lot of his stuff on defense was working, no doubt about it. And I did think that he got Sengun in some space where he could be effective. But I thought that the offense wasn't, it felt unstable more than anything, right? I felt like when he had the ball, when we got late in the game, I felt like when he had the ball, he didn't really feel confident in keeping the basketball. in controlling the offense. And I think that these are the growing pains that we're going to have. But more than anything, Ox, even though we had a nip and tuck game at the end, Ox, they beat Houston up last night more than they beat them. I feel like they just straight roughed them up. The game was a rough and rugged game early on. I felt like even with Houston's bigs, with Jabari Smith and Steven Adams, exactly what you just said about Wemby taking it to his chest, that's what those Detroit guys did. They took it right to the Houston Rockets front line, and they got on the glass. Not only did they get on the glass, they consistently got into the paint and tried to get to the rim and beat up on that interior defense. And I feel like that really affected them. But with the Min Thompson, and I know how you feel about him, Mox, that they do need a lead guard. I'm still sticking with this kid. I think that the issue is him not being able to have the confidence to be a lead guard yet, because he hasn't played it for an extended period of time. The fact that he's out there now, he can do nothing but get better. And I like that about Ime Udoka, that he is throwing this kid to the wolves and making him see what the offense looks like. Yo, you got to be able to get downhill. And to your point, coaches got to coach. There was a play in the fourth quarter where he had the ball on the right wing and he ends up going around the screen and he picks his dribble up. Okay, that's coaching, Ox. And what I mean when I say that's coaching, that's me telling you, listen, you got to keep that dribble live. That dribble has to be live, because if you keep that dribble live, he could have gotten downhill. He gets to that dribble pull-up that he has, but he couldn't make a shot last night neither. I think a lot of that had to do with him being in his head. So I think that this is part of the growing pains of a Min Thompson, and we just got to stick with him.
Right. I know I'm fine with that, y'all. I feel the same way, and that was my main point. I was saying, well, Amin didn't know he was going to be the starting point guard until a few weeks ago.
I did not know that.
Until Freddie got hurt, he didn't know. So the only way I don't believe you can just become a great league guard just by doing, practicing for a couple weeks and watching some film from last season. You have to play. You have to play the position. You have to get the ball in your hands, and you have to make mistakes. My only concern with that is, and I mean he looks great right now, but how much time do you have with Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant came over there to win a championship.
That's why he came over here.
What he can say what he wants to say, and I'm not saying it's driven by competing with Steph's legacy. I'm not saying that's what's driving it. But Kevin Durant went to the second seed in the West for a reason. It's not
to get bounced in round one. No, he did.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's my only thing. What's up, Real Talk? I see you in the in the chat. Real Talk, what's up, man? Let my man Frank get a VIP next time he pull up to the show, man. Dang, that's crazy. But but chill. Where are you with the Houston Rockets though? Ultimately, and I know it's early. I know it's only been 2 games, but let's get a way too early prediction about where Houston will be this season. Prediction.
If they keep going the way that they're going, they're not going to make the playoffs. If they keep doing what they're doing, right? If this offense keeps the way it is, they're going to be on the outside looking in. So I think that it's way too early for that. I do think that at some point this offense is going to turn around. I mean, KD is their primary bucket getter. I think Sengun, I don't think what I saw in game 1 against Oklahoma City was who he is. But I also don't think what I saw last night. I mean, they got a tech Ox with 6 guys on the floor. Like, get off the floor, Sengun. What are you doing? Right? They ended up getting a tech because he was on the floor, right? But I don't think that that's who he is neither. We're going to get an in-between of Alperen Sengun at some point, right? So the way too early prediction right now is that, they're not making the playoffs. But if I'm being honest, I still had them as a top 3 seed. I think their defense is too good. I think their rebounding is too good. I think that at some point their transition offense is going to be much better because they create so many problems on defense. So I think that they're going to make up for that. And I think Sengun, I think he's going to level out, and I think he's going to get on the same page with KD because I think he's going to maximize that jump shot. That touch around the rim has gotten better than what it was last year. And I think that helps with also Steven Adams being the glass cleaner that he is. I don't think they're going to get beat up like they did last night. I think that at some point this is going to level off and they're going to be better. So, but as of right now, Ox, they look like they're missing the playoffs. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, man. The best team in Texas, y'all, looks like it's San Antonio. They're the ones getting all the wins right now. They're holding it down for the state of Texas, man. San Antonio is keeping them alive, man. We know what they say. Remember the Alabama. Um, anyways, I want to talk about another team, another game from last
Mhm.
night. Um, Orlando Magic take on the Atlanta Hawks.
Yep.
Um, I mean Atlanta they kind of they shared the wealth a little bit. They shared the wealth a
Mhm.
little bit, but ultimately, Trae Young did Trae Young things. He had a pretty good game, I believe. What was it, 25 points from Trae? I'll pull it up
Mhm.
right here. No need to guess. Um 25 games from not 25 games, I'm sorry. 25 points
Mhm.
from Trae Young. And he pretty much shared the wealth in the starting lineup. Okongwu had 17, Jalen Johnson with 12, Nikhil Alexander Walker came in with 19 points.
Mhm.
So they shared the wealth. In Orlando, Franz Wagner led the way with 27, Wendell 10, Desmond 15, Tristan Da Silva 15. But the sore spot, the elephant in the room is Paolo Banchero. What was going on last night with Paolo?
Well, I think that Atlanta did a good job, one, being physical with him, which is crazy to even say that considering how big he is, because I did tap into this game too. Um, I'm still not loving his shot selection. And I think that my issue with him is he's not sure where he should be playing consistently. Like there's some things that he does that he feels comfortable with, but I still feel like he's a work in progress in the aspect of knowing exactly where my spots are, knowing where I should play to be the most effective. It still seems like he's trying to figure out where he's the most effective. He had a shot yesterday. It was I want to say in the second quarter where he was coming downhill and he ended up getting a spin move in the middle of the paint and spin move and ended up scoring with the weak hand. I think that's one of the most effective parts of his game, especially when he got a smaller dude on him. And he had a smaller dude and Alexander Walker switched onto him. We get to the third quarter, Ox. He had that same small dude on him. And instead of getting downhill, because the ball had gotten swung to him, and Met guy ended up closing out to him on the low side. So instead of taking him right to the rim, he ended up settling for a jump shot. And I'm thinking to myself, I think he's still trying to figure out what exactly he is as an offensive player and where he is the most effective.
He has to figure that out quick. You know,
Yes.
he's been around for a while. He's been an elite scorer in the league. He don't got time to keep trying to be trying things out. So I'll tell you what, with all these things going on right now,
Yep.
taking shots like that to get you investigated, Paolo, you better be careful.
Hey, watch out, yo. They
you, be-
watching.
you
They
better be
are
careful,
watching.
brother.
They 100% are watching. They checking your temperature. When you out here and you going 2 for 10 in a quarter or you taking wild shots, you know what I mean? They looking at you. You 0 for 5 at the long ball line. They looking at you going, yo, you got some money on this? Nah, we don't want that. We do not want that. But I do think,
Oh
to your
man.
point, Ox, about shot taking, I think that I think that this Atlanta team, I mean, I think this Orlando team, you know how I feel about Suggs. I don't think that he scores it enough for me in order for them to be a legit contender right now. And that could very well change, but I don't think he scores it enough for me in order for them to be a legit contender. But I thought they did a good job on Trae Young last night. I thought they did a good job on Trae Young for the most part. I thought that he forced Trae Young into some tough shots. I thought Trae Young did a good job in taking care of the basketball, though. Right? I thought he did a really good job in finding guys like M guy, because I like M guy as a rotation big. He is one of my favorite rotation bigs. The guy that I'm thinking about when I was watching Orlando, because I was thinking about you, Ox. I like Okongwu, but how you felt about Alex Lynn up in Sacramento, that's how I feel about Okongwu. Like I kind of wish he was a little bit better. I don't think he's whack, but I kind of wish he was a little, because there's so much more there to be desired with him. Like I expect him to do more than what he's doing, and it's obvious that it's there. I'm not saying that it's possible. It's obvious that it's there. So I wish he was a little bit better. And I think that that's my biggest issue with him. I don't think that the stuff that's necessary in order for them to win, he does enough of it. He'll do some of it, like he'll get on the glass, but not enough. He'll give you putbacks, but not enough, right? He'll be able to get you a stop, but not enough. And I understand that's what rotation guys do. But if you're going to be one of the better rotation players in the league, and we're trying to compete for an NBA championship, which is where Atlanta is right now, like they're one of the better teams in the East. I need more than what I'm getting from you as a rotation guy, and he's kind of one of those guys that I think about when I think about a guy that I wish was a little bit better, more than anything.
Yeah, well, I can understand. I can understand that. Definitely can. Definitely can. Still want to get to a couple more games from last night, but first let's get back to the lobby. We got a pretty much full house, but we're gonna keep getting to y'all. Right now, it's time to bring my man Cowboy Bob up to the stage. Cowboy, what's up, brother?
Salute. Sorry, I'm at work, guys, but yeah, Franz Wagner is garbage. I don't know what I was thinking talking about him. Jokes. You remember the PCL about him being a versatile defender? Come on.
Right.
I'm going to keep saying that I saw something a year ago, but real quick, I just know you guys are busy, but I want to talk about my Knicks because the Knick hater cartel is real. If you look at how we shot 38% from the field and beyond the arc, we still finished with 53 boards. Josh Hart with 14 rebounds with a -2 after he played 19 minutes. Brunson, 50% from the field, 42% from the three. And we even got 7 steals, 4 blocks. You got guys like Tyler Kolek going after the ball, creating 2-3 stoppages, hitting it out of bounds. We also even had Yabusele playing good. We played small ball. We didn't even use our guys. OG, that's my dude, man. That's always my dude. But even if you look at it, Coach Brown actually made a bigger step than our last coach, Tibbs. How you say that, Cowboy? I'm going to tell you why. We have more wins against Boston, and we have more wins against the Cavs than we did last year. You believe that? 2 wins. We beat them both once with this new head coach. So for me, I'm in a good spot, and I'm happy. They have this build mentality of we work together as a team, play as a team. And here's the funny thing. We lost, if you look at the scoring, only the second quarter we outscored Boston. Boston outscored us the first quarter, third quarter, and even the fourth quarter, and we still won off of our defense. So, and even Brunson stepped up with his defense. Like I told you, he's going to struggle with his offense because he's doing more, but this team is amazing, and the Knicks cartel is real. But anyway, like I said, I value that. But Wemby, I think Wemby, if he gets stronger, I think he'll be ready. Because the thing is when I was watching the game last night, I said, yo, Wemby's amazing. Like, this guy's it. But when they double-teamed him, with Zion at the last play.
Hold on, Bob. Because it's interesting how he just completely just went over. Yo, they beat us in the first quarter. They beat us in the third quarter. They beat us in the fourth quarter. He completely leaves out in the second quarter. They outscored Boston by 30.
I'm just saying, though. Like, let's be real.
That doesn't happen. And they held them to 12 points or some nonsense like that in the second quarter. And outscored them by 30. That's a big deal.
And Cat didn't have fouls. It was Miguel Bridges in foul trouble.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
What was the series last year where they were saying the stat was that there was a team that was winning pretty much 90% of the minutes in the whole playoffs, and they were down 3-1 in the playoff series. I can't remember what series that was, but that don't matter. You can beat us in the first, second, and fourth quarter. If we beat you bad in one quarter, we win.
Dominated.
But that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't see that with Tibbs. You see the inconsistencies, but now you see everyone being involved. We went with a 10-man rotation, and like I said, our best rebounder was a negative. How are you a negative when you got 14 boards? So with that, and Wemby, man, I'm telling you, Wemby was – when they put Zion on him and someone else as another defender, it kind of messed him up. So with that being said, it was I didn't see him finish that shot or make the free throw. I was hoping he would close it out. But Wemby got a lot to – I think that what we're seeing now is just the beginning. Once he get consistent, we're good. But again, like I said, guys – Nick Cartel is real because Swiper likes to cut off people when they're reading about my super chat because he hates us. And the VP is his boy, the Drenchman. The Drenchman don't like Brunson but likes Trey Young. So, again, the leader of the Nick Cartel is in your panel. I'm going to go, guys. I'll see y'all later. Go, New York. Go, New York. Go. Peace.
Yes,
sir.
Hey,
Cowboy.
Right, Cowboy.
Hey, Cowboy, I told you when you come up here, I want to see that hat. I know you at work. But I need to see that hat, yo. I need to see that. I told you can't come up here without that hat.
Chill. I had no idea that drenching swiping with leaders of the Nick hate cartel. I
That's
didn't
news
know.
to me.
Way to call it out, Cowboys. Somebody
For
got to do
real.
it. Somebody got to do it.
That is news to me. I did not know that.
Next game I want to talk about from last night, we were introduced with this super chat here. The Bamazon warehouse is open. Them boys pulled out a belt longer than Ron's brim on his fitted. Their pace on defense and offense is blinding, and when Tyler get back, we on everybody ass.
Ox has been a Miami Heat advocate. I don't know what it is about me, but when I said that I feel like they're a league guard away from really challenging in the Eastern Conference, like I got ran over by a truck. Like, the Heat suck. What are you talking about? I'm like, yo, this team isn't as bad as you think they are. If you look at the personnel and you look at what they have and their style of play, which is what it was last night. Ox, they was up by 40 at one point. By 40, they were up at one point. I think they had held Memphis to 47 points at the half, and they had almost 90, right? So, I mean, this team, I didn't watch much of that game. I was wrapped up in the Toronto game. I was wrapped up in the Atlanta game. So I didn't watch much of that game. But I did see that they had them almost 40 in the hole at one point. But this Miami Heat team does not suck, man. I think that from a personnel standpoint, I think that their style of play, they have what's necessary to be competitive. And Davion Mitchell, he might not be exactly what I want, but I think that he'll do. Yes, I do. I think that he could supplement for right now until we could get somebody that I think, like I talked about Suggs, I think that you have to have somebody at the lead guard spot that can score. And what I mean when I say score, I don't mean 30 a game. I don't mean 25 a game, but somebody that I can go to get a bucket. And I feel like with Davion Mitchell, the Heat style of play right now, I feel like it works for right now. And if they could get another guy in there that can score plus maybe defend at a little bit lower of a level, they got enough guys. They got plenty of guys to protect them. They got Wiggins. They got Bam. They got Khalil Ware. And Ox, I'm telling you one more time, Spo, stop playing with this kid Khalil Ware and leave him in the lineup. Stop, man, because you're going to screw this kid up. I understand that there's an issue with the professionalism. I understand that you worry about his motor. No, keep this kid on the floor. He's going to be the real deal. No doubt about it. And that was I didn't see most of the game, but from what I understand, that was a classic ass whooping. Classic.
Right, chill. I'm happy to see Nikola Jovic. This is a guy I've been waiting on to come around. I thought last year was going to be a year for him, but hey, it takes when it's your time, it's your time. I think Nikola Jovic might have figured it out. And another guy who last year was getting just dragged through the mud, a guy that I've been high on, Jaime Jaquez. So it's really good to see Nikola Jovic and Jaime Jaquez off the bench playing well together. We saw it last night, and we saw it in game one with Miami when they went toe-to-toe with Orlando. So I think it's that's always the thing when you have a good Miami team in these past 7 years. All these past years when Miami's been really good, it's been by committee. There was a couple series where Jimmy carried the squad, but other than that though, this Miami team has always been a deep team to where the bench comes through, and I'm seeing that this year. When Tyler Hero gets back, the Miami Heat will be a force to be reckoned with. To be reckoned with.
Fair enough.
And the whole East is shaking in their boots. The whole East is shaking in their boots.
I don't hate it, Ox. I don't. I don't hate it, Ox. I mean, people think that, immediately when you and I go back and forth, Ox and Chill hate each other. No, we do agree on some things. We do. And Ox and I agree on the Miami Heat. Yes, we do. We agree. Yep. We definitely agree on the Miami Heat. I think they're a league all the way from really challenging in the Eastern Conference. And when I say challenging, I mean like getting to the NBA championship. I think they could be that good. I don't think they're that far away. I don't.
Right. So I got two more games I want to talk about. We're slowly but surely we're getting out west, y'all. Well, first, okay, you know what? Let me show some respect to the Washington Wizards. I almost skipped that. Let me show a little respect to the Washington Wizards. They knock off the Dallas Mavericks with the heck of a game. I'm really talking about this because I want to highlight Keyshawn George, chill. 34 points, 11 rebounds from the young fella. Chill, what a night. I mean, what a night for him.
I did tap into that game. Ox, you ever watch a game? And because I feel like I'm pretty well versed in the league, and there's a lot of guys that I know. But have you ever tapped into a game and was like, who the hell is this? Who is this guy? And I'm watching him, and I'm like, who is this? Who is this kid? He is awesome, right? But I can tell you about the growing pains, just like I talked about Amin Thompson, the growing pains of Amin Thompson. I can talk about the growing pains of Cooper Flagg, and I thought Bub did a great job in picking him up full court and being a disruptor. That game got flipped on its ear at 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They had cut the lead to 4, Ox. They had cut the lead to 4. Anthony Davis goes to the stripe. They can cut the lead to 2. He misses both the free throws because he was a force last night. He was great. He was a force last night. He was great. They can cut the lead to 2. They end up missing those 2 free throws. When they miss those two free throws, they come back down the next trip. Washington scores because we had a busted coverage, and Washington ended up scoring. The very next they didn't score. That's not true, Ox. Let me rephrase that. They had a busted coverage, but they ended up missing a shot. We get it off the glass. Anthony Davis pitches it out to Cooper Flagg. He drops the ball out of bounds. So I missed the 2 free throws. They get a turnover. They end up coming back down. After that turnover, they score again, and that's when the floodgates opened up. So when I think about what Jason Kidd is doing with Cooper Flagg, I actually like it. I like him having Cooper Flagg on the ball. And with him having Cooper Flagg on the ball, he creates so many more mismatches. But I also like him when he plays off the ball too. The versatility that he has playing on the wing. And we get wrapped up a lot of times in highlights, like the fact that Cooper Flagg had that dunk yesterday when he was on the right wing and ended up going to the rim. What we leave out is the very next trip while him and Lively are screaming, okay, get back on defense. They don't get back on defense, and Washington ends up getting an and one. By the way, Ox, we're in the middle of trying to get back in the game. Like this isn't a game where we got the game wide open. No, we're in the middle of trying to get back in the game. We're 2 possessions down. They come back down, they get an and one. So it was stuff like that. That's the growing pains of us trying to be a good team. So again, I'm still on board with the Dallas Mavericks. That very well should have been a 30-10 game from Anthony Davis last night. They actually should have won that game. They ended up giving it up at the end. They ended up giving it up at the end. The last, like I said, 3-4 minutes at the end. And Washington's gonna, because I'm on record saying that I'm gonna watch more Washington games. Washington's a lot better than I think that they are. Yes, they are. Middleton might not be the bucket getter that he used to be. He might not be as nice with the peel and gets off the floor, but he still can create havoc. Same thing with CJ. CJ could still get downhill with the best of them, even today. Now I know it's still early in the season, but I'm definitely gonna be paying more attention to Washington. I am, and I'm sticking with Dallas. I still think Dallas is gonna be a good team. I got them as a top 4 seed in the West.
Right. My only thing is, Sean, I never thought I would say this. I never thought these words would come out of my mouth, Chill. But J Kidd, I think you got to play D'Angelo Russell a little more. I think D'Lo got to play. I mean, there's just too many turnovers. I think D'Lo can help. Just protect the ball a little more. I think you got to play D'Lo a little bit more, man. Mm-hmm. But maybe they're just trying to develop Coop a little more and just get his all around game a little better because they know Kyrie is coming back. My only thing is Kyrie can't come back in January and y'all have won 15 games. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to you got to win some basketball games. So I don't know, man. They'll figure it out over there. I'm not sure. How they'll figure out, I'm not sure what they'll do, but they got talent.
And we can't bank on that neither, Ox. We can't just bank on Kyrie Irving coming back. Like we still got to rock. Like don't get me wrong. Like we're anticipating Irv coming back, but we still got to do our thing too, because Irv's gonna be out for a while. It's not like Irv coming back next week and okay, we get him back next week. No, we don't know what he's gonna look like when he comes back. I'm hoping that he's awesome. He's put the work in. I'm sure he's put the work in to get better and to get himself in shape. But we still got to play basketball the way basketball is supposed to be played in order for us to have a chance to win. We can't just hope that Kyrie Irving comes back and he saves us. No, Ox, we can't do that.
Right, right. We still got a couple more games to talk about, y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all know where I'm going with this. But let's get back to the lobby real quick. I saw a couple people drop out. Maybe they had stuff to do. But if you're still here, I sent the link again. Pull back up. But right now, I'm going to bring my man, Leaf Diggy, to the stage. Leaf, what's going on, brother?
What's going on with y'all? I know it's been a minute. Despite the fact that I've been watching some very piss poor football this season, from my Green Bay Packers included. This shit is just ridiculous, man. The play calling is literally I'm disgusted. But I had time to get in to opening night a little bit and last night. I don't really want to make no real depictions on what teams is gonna come out of the woodworks and do something. The Spurs is at the top of that list. Despite how Wemby is playing, man. But I will say what impressed me on opening night obviously was VJ Eshcombe. He came out. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, but like the youth movement is that I've been waiting for the past couple of years. Chill has is finally arriving in the NBA, and I think a lot of these old teams is getting
Are we
dusted
there
off.
yet, Leaf? Are we there yet? Or are we still
So,
waiting for it? Or are we
It's,
there yet? Or are we still waiting for it?
I think it's slowly but surely we taking steps to get there, and I'm seeing it with ass whippings like the Jailblazers beating the hell out of the Golden State Warriors last night. Denny Avdia has been nothing but a plus to this team. Now that Chauncey Billups is out of the way, man, they don't have to tank the bucket or whatever, man. I ain't mean that, but um.
I think they
What
was
I
on to something in Portland with
with
Chauncey
Denny?
Billups. I think that they were on to something with him. I still think that they on to something, and I think that they're going to be a good team because I watched that game last night, and I didn't know that Kamara could stick to three like that. I did not know that. He looked real
He
comfortable
could.
behind that long ball line. He did.
Yes, he
Real
did.
comfortable.
Absolutely,
I like
very
that.
comfortable. And he's turning into quite the 3-and-D player in this league.
Yes.
I do not want to talk about the Nets at all because whatever happens should be at L on our book, bro. I leave that shit up the breeze. I'm absolutely disgusted at the way our roster looks and what are we playing on the court. So I'm not even gonna go to that. But I will say, the best player last night, to me, it was obvious, man. It's Giannis. I mean, 37, 30, 20, and 7. And I gotta blame that on Scotty Barnes, man, for being fake tough. You know, like going to push him down and trying to flex. Like, yo, you not who you think you are, young man. But I'm gonna let you know that. Yo, first
Well, he
off, your name.
is. He just can't. He is. He just can't do it with that dude. Like you could be
Yes,
tough.
yeah, he can't. Yeah, he can't. He can't
You
do it.
can, but it's levels
And I
to it
think
in terms of toughness.
Giannis decision making out of double teams and decision making when the defense basically switches up has been nothing but A plus, man. Getting downhill as I don't have a jump shot. You know I don't have a jump shot,
He had two
and
threes
you're gonna
last
leave.
night.
Yeah. I can stand
He had
still and
two of
hit
them.
one, and you can live with me hitting one probably. But guess what? I'm getting into your paint. I'm moving two of your dudes out of the way for a rebound, and there ain't a damn thing you could do about it. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna like it. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna move out of my way. I'm dunking on your whole team, and that's that. And I'm seeing that. I am impressed with what I'm seeing from Wemby because there's no settling going on. And this is what you've been talking about, and this is what I've been agreeing with the last couple of years. Give me the ball right here. This dude is not blocking anything. I'm going right over him. It's just that simple, brother. And
Yeah.
that's what you want to see from Wemby. As far as the rest of the league goes, in terms of what y'all been seeing, I ain't gonna lie. Paulo Banchero, bro, like I ain't gonna lie, you on FBI watch, man, with that shot. I don't know what's going on.
It
Like,
was a
what are
bad
you
night
doing?
for Paulo. I'm not gonna roast
Nah.
Paulo. I'm not gonna do
I'm
that.
with
It was a
Bobby,
bad
bro.
night.
Them type of shots will
Mm.
get you investigated. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Can't we say the same thing about dudes going for 40? Can't we do that? Like, why you going for 40? Why you going for 35? What's going on here?
It depends on who's going for the 40, bro. Like I mean,
Mm.
we ain't got. If it's just an average Joe going for the 40, then that means that we got to investigate the team that he did it on. Like
I think
that's
we
what
got
we
like
got to.
10 guys. I think we had 10 guys yesterday, something goofy like that, have like 30. Like 10 of them. Like, wait a
10
minute.
of them. How many of them did you look at and say, "Yo, who the hell is this?"
Right.
The kid from Washington. One. I was like, who the hell is this kid? Where the hell
You
he
said
come
the
from?
so you saying Jason Kidd need to be investigated?
Like, where the hell he come from?
No, sir.
And
Hold
I
up. He had
don't-
34 and 11, bro. I don't even know who that. I listen. I heard of his name before, but 34 and 11.
I'm watching.
I'm like, yo,
watching him.
hold
I
on.
remember him. I remember him from the University of Miami, but I only remember. I remember stretches from him. Like, I don't remember him that much, but I don't remember him being that good. I was like, oh shit, is that the same dude? And so yeah, I mean, just
Listen.
like you dudes talk about these teams or these players putting up tour dates. We got to do the same thing when a dude goes for 42, 13, and 7.
That's a fact. And then we don't even. And then we looking at him like, yo, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like, for real. And to do that against Dallas and against AD and Cooper. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the NBA. This is going to be a very interesting season on and off the court. And I'm all laughs about it, man, because I'm with Bobby, bro. Like, if you look like you got some bread on the line with some of these shots that you taking last night, Paolo. I'm gonna have to call it out. Nah, man, nah. We gonna have to call it out. I am an FBI informant. I'm snitching, especially if you cost me some money. You caught me, cost my man some money. I'm ratting. I am ratting because I know for a fact Bobby or Ron got something on the line. I am calling that out. No, I'm putting this on YouTube. Yo, you got to get investigated, fam. Nah, you cost me some chicken. Nah, that's it.
You know where to find us at, Leaf.
I do. Yep.
Man, I shouldn't have said that, man. I was just playing. I was just playing, Paolo.
Ox, like, yo, we got to get somebody on the phone. Like, what's going on in Orlando? Yo, you skimming?
Man, that's crazy.
Are you skimming off the top? What's going on, yo? What's going on, B? Are you in cahoots? Because this don't look right. Like, dudes can't now have, just so y'all know, NBA, dudes can no longer have off nights. It can't happen. When you go 4 for 20, we're like, we got to go talk to him.
But you know, chill, honestly, this might be, I don't know how to word it, but I'm just going to call it a blessing in disguise. Because now, guys are going to be a little less willing to sit out when they're hurt. They might tweak a little something and be like, ain't no big deal. I can play through that. Whereas before this, they were like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? We got 82
I don't want that
games.
Camera on me. Nah,
Right,
I'm not skimming.
right.
I'm good, Joe. I could go.
Right. Now dudes are going to play a little bit harder. So, hey, you know, there's always balance. You know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. I think that's Newton's second law. I don't know, one of them. But, man, this, you know, Leaf brought up this game that we were just about to get to, and that was the Golden State Warriors against the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, the Blazers are taking care of business. They should be 2-0 right now. Denny Avdia, 26. Jeremy Grant, 22. Shout out Jeremy Grant. I know you get so much hate from the haters, but we see you. I mean, they're sharing the wealth. We have 8 people with 10 or more. Matisse had 10. Chris Murray had 13. Jeremy had 22. That's off the bench for those 3. Shaedon Sharp came with 17. Drew Holiday came with 12 points and 11 assists. Donovan Clingan, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Denny Avdia, 26 points. Tamani Kamara, 19 points. I mean, they're sharing the wealth. Steph Curry did have 35. But, you know, he was the high scorer over there. The other guys put in a little work too. But ultimately, the Portland Trailblazers, I mean, they put a whooping on the Warriors, chill.
Yes, they did, 100%.
It wasn't. And let's make no mistake about this. The game was over before it was over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't let that score fool you. No, it was way worse than that. Way worse than that. No doubt about it. So, Ox, my biggest problem with the Warriors was the age of their core. That was my biggest problem. My second problem with the Golden State Warriors is their interior defense. I don't think that they have enough in the interior. And I felt like Portland took advantage of that. Like Klinger was fantastic around the rim last night. I mean, Murray was great around the rim last night. Jeremy Grant, I got to give Jeremy Grant more credit for number one being 6'9". I want to start there. And playing like a guy that's 6'9". Like over the last couple of games, he's been playing like a guy who's that size. He has not in the past played like that. He's played more like a guy who's a wing, but not really taking advantage of his size. Kind of like how you feel about Tobias Harris. That's kind of how I felt about Jeremy Grant, like a dude who should be way better than what he is, right? So with that being said, I did tap into that game last night, and you're not going to be able to do anything with Steph Curry, no doubt about that. Steph Curry, he stretches the defense so far that you're just going to have to eat that production and hope that he misses. The other guys, like Jimmy Butler, when you collapse the paint and make Jimmy Butler be more of a distributor and make him pass the Moody, make him pass the Pods, and make those guys make shots, I think you got a chance. This kid Kamara last night, watching him at the long ball line, face guys up. You know what he looks like to me, Ox? He looks like what Vando should have been. That's when I'm watching him. When I watch him, he looks like what Jarrett Vanderbilt should have been with the Lakers. A guy who can face up, who's not afraid to take, not only is he not afraid to take the long ball, it looks respectable, right? It looks like you can't just leave him open for shots because he will knock down a shot. I love that about him. Danny Advia, when he was getting downhill yesterday, this team in Golden State, I mean, they really couldn't do anything with him because guys were just bouncing off of him. You know, how he got to the rim. And he's one of the better finishers that I've seen in the league. And I think that that's great with him. I had this Trailblazer team making the playoffs, Ox. I do. Yeah. I got this Trailblazer team making the playoffs. I think that they're going to be a force in the West. I don't think that they're a top 5 seed or a top 3 seed or anything like that. I think they played their way into the playoffs. So I think that they're anywhere between 7 and 9. But I do think that they play their way into the playoffs. This is a good team, Ox. Really good team.
Yeah. I think that they're a very good basketball team. Everybody's body and they're playing great defense, great all around basketball. And the performance of the night last night, if you ask me, the performance of the night.
I'm asking you, Ox. What was the performance of the night last night, Ox?
The MVP, chill. The MVP. The chat has been going crazy for probably the past 20 minutes. Like this isn't an hour and 30-minute show. Like we're just gonna not talk about Luka Doncic. They've been in the chat.
We'll get to it.
How dare you not talk about Luka? Have you talked about Luka yet? If this person, oh my God, when are you gonna talk about Luka? I mean, the chat is losing it. Relax, y'all.
We're gonna get to
we're
it.
Getting to that. We are going to talk about Luka Doncic. So yes. Baggins, I don't know all the rest. Did you have the Luka talk yet? No, but we're going to have it right now. We are going to do that right now. First and foremost, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards had 31, Julius Randle had 26. They didn't get much from the bench, though. The Lakers also didn't get much from their bench. But they got 23 points from Rui Hachimura. They got 15 and 8 from DeAndre Ayton. They got 25 and 11 from Austin Reeves. And chill. They got 49, 11, and 8. 2 points, 2 assists away from a triple-double from none other than the Don himself, Luka Doncic. There's really nothing to say. I mean, we've said everything we can say about Luka. I mean, he's done it all. So what? You go ahead, take it away, Chill. I don't got nothing to say about it.
Well, I said to you guys, we had a conversation not that long ago. We had a conversation about me thinking that Luka was the best scorer in the game. I'm on record saying that. I said that I don't think that there's a guy in the game who scores the basketball easier than Luka. And I think Mars challenged me with Joel Embiid because of his mid-range. And I felt like Luka, as good as he is, not necessarily athletically, but as good as he is in terms of using his body, when he gets you on his hip and he gets downhill, it's almost impossible, 1, to stay in front of him, 2, to make the right decision defensively, especially when he gets you on his hip, because he can score it with both hands. And not only can he score it with both hands, he's so in control of his body where he'll get you jumping in spaces where you wouldn't. He's got such the ability to create space at the long ball line. I think he made 5 threes last night. I think he made five or 6 threes last night. And the threes that he made, he's creating so much space with that step back because he's hitting you at 6'7", 6'8", where he's hitting you where you're already off balance. I already got the matchup that I want, which he got last night, where he got Julius Randle on him because they were mismatch hunting. He got Julius Randle on him, and he bumps Julius, who by the way is 6'9", and he's about 235, 240 pounds. He bumps Julius, gets him off him, and cracks the long ball on the right wing and knocks it down. When he has stuff like that going, it's I'm not saying it's almost, it is impossible to deal with him. Impossible to deal with him. And I think it's interesting that you and I just had a conversation, Ox, about an hour ago about sticking your chest out when you're playing with a guy like Giannis, when you're playing with a guy like Wemby. I know for a fact that Austin Reeves stick his chest out a little bit more when he's running with the Don. He stick his chest out a little bit more. I catch him on the wing, Ox. He clapping for the pill, right? I catch him screaming at Luka, swing it over here because I can run with you. Don't think that just because Luka is out here and giving these guys the business that I'm just going to stand around and watch. No, I'm going to get involved in this fight too. And he looked great last night. But Luka, I just think that when you have a guy that's that good as a bucket getter, guys like DeAndre Ayton, they're just going to expand their game. Austin Reeves, they're just going to expand their game. I'm watching Rui run the lane yesterday, and he's telling Luka to throw the ball up to the rim. Why? Because I'm running with a guy like this. I'm sticking my chest out a little bit more. You can throw me the ball. Right. I'll get involved because I'm playing with a guy like this. Now, don't get me wrong, Ox. I'm not expecting 46 and 43 and 49. Man, that's not sustainable. Like, what is realistic for Luka when we're talking about a bucket getter? I think I could get anywhere between. I think he could lead the league in scoring again. I do think that I could get 31 to 30. I was thinking 31 to 34. I think I can get something like that, and I think that that's sustainable for him. I think what we're seeing right now is what would be a stretch in like January for another player that's averaging like 35 a game over 6 or 7 games, and then they come back down to earth. So Luka's coming back down to earth is like 32, right? 33 a game. That's Luka's coming back down to earth. But he's just so good at navigating screens. I watched DeAndre Ayton last night, who was actually better at setting screens, which is what Luka needs. Because Luka is so good in the pick and roll. Luka is so good at getting downhill and trapping guys. Like last night, he had a play with DeAndre Ayton where he ended up getting Julius Randle on his backside. Once he got Julius Randle on his backside, Julius just gave up because he was like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything with this guy in the paint. So he just kind of conceded the bucket. And I think that we have I think that we have a Minnesota team that is still trying to figure it out. I think there's some inconsistencies with Rudy, who, I mean, we still are dealing with the same nonsense that we dealt with in terms of him not being able to catch the ball or him also catching the ball and finishing around the rim. But, I mean, there's really nothing else that can be said about Luka that hasn't been said about in terms of him being a bucket getter. I don't think that I'm getting something like I'm getting right now on the regular, but I can tell you right now, Ox, I mean, I do think that he's going to get back to being the best scorer in the game, and I stand on that.
Right. I mean, he's putting up on the bucket, Chill, and he's not the only one. Chill. We've had in just these couple of days of NBA basketball, we've had Luka Doncic with 43, Tyrese Maxey with 40, Victor Wembanyama with 40, Anthony Edwards with 41, and of course Aaron Gordon with 50 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 5 players with a 40-point performance in season openers. Like that's the most in NBA history. It's never happened before. These guys are scoring that basketball, Chill. I think we're in for an exciting one this year. So, that was season openers. Xcal. It was not just so far in the season. That was just season openers. Season openers, we have 5 guys score 40 or more. So if you count these other games, like you said, there's more than that. But those are just season openers, y'all. That's incredible to say the least. To say the least, that's insane, y'all.
Unbelievable.
It's great stuff. Let me see. Before we get to these super chats, let's try to get a couple more people up from the lobby. We got Gio Capo 715. What's up, Gio?
What up?
Yo, what's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yep. You hot.
Man, y'all ever like have a player just disappoint y'all
Mm-hmm.
and you know they're better?
Yes.
Paulo did that to me last night. That wasn't 11 points. That was 7 points, bro.
How much?
That was 7 points until like 2 minutes, and he had a trail out dunk, like 2 dunks or some bullshit. Then the nigga fucking, I don't even know. Like
It's not
he
even.
just suck-
It's not even the buckets. It's not even the buckets because you're expecting like 30 from him. I think that's
No,
what you
chill.
expect.
He did it last game. Last game, it's the process of how he's doing it. Chill. You're sick. Like Jalen Johnson, I love Jalen Johnson. He's looking great right now. I feel like Paulo should play a little bit more like Jalen Johnson.
Be on the glass a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson looked good. He only had foul trouble last night. He looked great last night. He's one of my favorite players. But man, it's just I don't know. He just disappointed me last.
What are you expecting from Paulo this season?
25, 10, 6, and like 10 free throws.
So going to the free throw line. So basically
He
going to the free throw
averaged
line 5 times a game.
Yes. Why are you
I don't
shooting
think that's, to be honest
mid-ranges?
with you, I don't think that's ridiculous. When I
It's
think
not, chill.
so go to the free throw line 5 times a game. That's twice and a half, maybe
Chill.
3 times
Every time
on
he
average.
drives, every time he drives, he draws contact.
And he should be able to play through that contact. I just don't want to what I don't want to do is I don't want to overrate him. I think Paulo at his best, I think he could be a 30 and 10 guy. I think at his best he could be that. I don't think we there yet though. I want there's still a lot to be desired. I do.
I want 25 on like 48%. You're 6'10". He's 6'10", chill. He's not 6'9". He's a legit, you know how you be like, it's legit. He's a legit 6'10".
Yeah, that's what I heard about him. I heard that it's nothing 6'8" or 6'9" about him. He's a bit of 6'10", 250.
Like
He should be able to take advantage of that size more.
Jalen Johnson looking great from his injury. You see his passing? You see his passing, chill?
Mm-hmm. The only reason why I watched the Atlanta Hawks is because of Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson. That's the only reason why I watched them.
And also,
so
chill.
You know.
I don't think Trey gonna get that contract. He ain't really. He not.
Relax, because the reason why they're holding off is because they want to see what Atlanta does. If Atlanta is a better team and Atlanta is in the top 4, top 5 in the East, we're gonna have a different conversation. Because again, this is the best talent he's been around. The best talent that he's been around. But if they still hovering around the play-in, they out. 100% out.
Raptors, I don't know if it was you or Chill or you, Ox or Chill or both of y'all. Raptors are real. Pim was right. That's a team. OKC. That's a real like defense. Like they're long. They get turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Real.
I like them.
Ox is big on the Raptors. I'm not as big on them as I am Milwaukee. I'm in Miami. I'm much higher on those two teams than I am the Raptors. That's not to say that I don't like the Raptors. I just don't like their rim protection. The rim protection is what bothers me. And I'm a big RJ Barrett fan. I just think that on defense, the effort needs to be better, and it's not. That's the problem that I have with RJ Barrett. I think that he's a bucket getter. I think that he's 19 to 22 a game. And I think it could be on good efficiency. I just think that the defense, there's so much more left on the table than I get from him. So that's probably my biggest problem with him.
And two more things. We found out Asar is faster than Amen. He beat him to one of them balls and stuff. He's faster, more twitchier. Okay. And Luka's 23 from 26 from 2 right now.
23? Wait, one more time.
He's 23 from 26 from 2 right now.
Yikes.
Well,
he's shooting better. He's a little bit off on his free throws and his 3-point right now. By the way.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So we up right now. Luka FC definitely up.
Yes.
That's all I have to say.
Doubt. All right, Gio. Appreciate you.
Good to talk to you, brother. No doubt.
All right.
So Ox, may I address this troll in the chat, Marquavian Black, where he's got I think he says something about, hold on, chill. I want to make sure that I read it right. He says, hold on, chill. You think Paolo is averaging 30 and 11 next year because year 5 is next season? So once again, ladies and gentlemen, comprehension is very important, right? I think comprehension is one of the most important things that you have to have when you're having a conversation, because you have to understand what people are. So I'm 100% confident when I said at his best, I think Paolo could give me 30, 10, and 5. He said by year 5, I think Paolo is 30 and 10. That's not what I think he is. I think by year 5, you are what you are, which means this is your floor. This is what you should expect on a Tuesday. I don't expect Paolo in year 5 on a Tuesday going forward to be 30 and 11. I don't expect that. I think that at his best, he could have 30 and 11 seasons. I think that at his best, he could be 30, 10, and 5. I think that at his best, I can see something like that. I think that but I think that in year 5, what your floor is, this is who you are. And this is what we should expect from you on the regular. I think that when you understand, instead of with your minions that you run with, instead of the other trolls that you run with them big ass pimples in the middle of their forehead, if you run with, maybe you'll be able to listen better. And you would be able to understand when I say things, instead of trying to roast me, and instead of trying to roast me, and instead of trying to prove me wrong, listen to what I say and comprehend what I say, and then rebut it. But don't just listen to what I say and then listen to everything else, everybody else go, yeah, that's what he said. And then that's where you get yourself in trouble, like you are now. Like you are now. And Noman, and Noman, I'm going to say this to you for the last time. With the number 7 pick in the 2026 draft, the Golden State Warriors select whomever you want.
Really? Lottery?
I got them missing the playoffs. Yes.
Well, y'all heard it all. That's all there is to say about that, y'all. Let's get to these super chats, man.
Mm-hmm.
I read that one already about the Bamazon warehouse. I'm not mad at that. I like that Bamazon warehouse. My man Allen R. Luka treats J-Mac like a toddler. Also, J-Kid's offense looks bad, and the defense feels very disconnected. It's only been 2 games, though. Maybe they pick it up.
I don't think that their offense was bad yesterday at all. I think that the turnovers that they had, I don't think that those turnovers were indicative to their offense. Those turnovers were unforced turnovers, and that's what turned the game on its ear. I think Anthony Davis was good in the mid-range, right? I think Cooper Flagg was actually good on the wing. I think he was good at getting downhill, right? I don't know why Klay Thompson doesn't play more. I think Jason Kidd is trying to figure out some more lineups, but I don't think their offense was that bad. No, I don't think it was that bad at all.
Right. One thing's for sure, though. Luka does treat J-Mac like a toddler. Definitely does. He definitely does that.
and J-Mac is 6'10", Ox. He ain't a small dude.
Right.
He is not a small dude.
Well, we seen J-Mac run from Luka and leave Rudy on an island in the playoffs, so, you know.
Which you can't do. I mean, of all the things that I can't do, we not switching. Okay, no matter what, give me some room to get around this. If I go under, if he's going to crack that 3, let him crack it. They trying to get this switch, though. Do not switch, right? Don't switch. Get back to hold him up until I can get there, but don't switch. If he's going to fry somebody, it's going to have to be me. I'm not leaving you out on the wing 30 feet away from the basket. I'm not doing that to you. No.
Chips, since as long as, you know, back when I was born a long time ago, I was the elite wing defender.
Sure.
And it was always, if he's going to give it to somebody, it's got to be me. I can't leave him out on the island. This is J-Mac. If he's going to give it to anybody, it's got to be you. But it's okay. Water under the bridge. Void Century. We talked about Miami for a bit, but Void Century said, nah, NBA ain't ready for what Miami about to do to him.
This team is just better than what people think they are. This team is better. Bam looked good yesterday. I really don't know what to do with Bam, Mox, because on the one hand, there's a part of me that wants to say, you know what, maybe Bam ain't the 20 and 10 guy that I think he is. Maybe he's just a 17 and 19 and 8 guy who's a dirty work guy. Maybe he is that. But then he comes out and he cracks 5 threes and, he looks good in the mid-range. And I'm like, am I bugging? What's going on with this dude? I don't know.
Man, I don't know. Y'all just keep watching. Keep watching ball, man. Teddy Hart says Paolo's who I think Jabari Parker would have been.
I don't think that's ridiculous to say that.
Shit.
I don't think that's ridiculous at all. Hey, Ox, Jabari Parker was on his way to doing something real serious.
That's what I'm saying. Chill. Paolo? Nah. No. Jabari was better than Paolo. Jabari was better than Paolo for sure.
Word?
Oh, for sure. No doubt. No doubt. I don't even got to question it. I don't even got to think about it.
Yo.
JDC 6354. Wemby's defense is more effective on paper than in reality.
No, that's not true. I don't buy that. Now, don't get me wrong. It might look on paper like astronomical, and Wemby has no question 3-5-4. Wemby's got some flaws in his defense. Yes, he does. But the stuff that he's great at, that kind of overshadows the flaws in his defense. How good he is around the rim, right? He blocked the shot yesterday into like the 6th row. Like it looked like a beach ball. He smacked it into the 6th row yesterday. I'm like, y'all ain't supposed to be involved in a game like that, right? So there's still stuff to be desired, right? There's that post defense, his switchability. All right, we still working on it. But him around the rim, it looked like the big kid in the yard playing with the small kids. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, chill. I think this is true, but I don't think it's a knock. Like he's very effective on the court. But yes. I think that when he sent this super chat through, I think he meant it as an insult to Wemby. But I just think that's just common for big guys that get blocks and stuff like that. I think that's true for all of them. I think it's more. It looks better on paper than it does in the game, but it's still very effective in the game, and it's still very good defense. So yes. I think he was right, but right for the wrong reasons with that super chat. I think that easy. Eagle Nation, chill. Lamar Jackson is out. You think the Ravens will make the playoffs still?
I still think they're the class of that division, even with Pittsburgh doing what they're doing. I still think. I mean, you can have a bad month, but then, we still got almost half the season left. So it's not like the season is over. Like he's coming back, and it's not like he's coming back in another month. He'll be back soon. Yeah, I still think y'all can make the playoffs. I just think that defense, that rush defense in particular, is garbage. Terrible.
Shane Howard. Sup, Ox and Chill. Start bench cut. Steve Francis, Stephon Marbury, and Baron Davis. I know it's random, but me and my brothers are discussing it.
I'm going to leave this one to Ox because he loves these dudes.
Oh, this is easy. We're going to start B. Diddy.
Ain't as easy as you think, huh?
I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to be biased.
Not as easy as you think.
But cutting Steve Francis is crazy, but I have to cut Steve Francis.
Not as easy as you think,
y'all know how bad I want to cut Stephon Marbury, but I'm not going to do it.
Can't do it.
We'll start B. Diddy, bench Stephon Marbury, and cut Steve Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, I hate cutting Steve Francis. Void Century. Spo got to be the GOAT coach making the playoffs last season, while two players making a combined $70 million, one betting against himself and one demanding a trade.
That was crazy, and they still ended up making the play-in. Ended up making the playoffs still, with that kind of turmoil going on.
Shout out!
I told y'all already, Ox. You know Eric Spoelstra never won Coach of the Year. These how many Coach of the Years he's got? 0.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's hilarious.
Nuts.
Military man, chill. Ox, do y'all think the Raptors handle the Mavs tomorrow? I like the Raptor squad. Thoughts on Zion and RJ Barrett?
I think Dallas, what happened yesterday, I don't think that they make those same mistakes tomorrow. And I think that they take advantage inside. Don't forget, no Gafford yesterday. Anthony Davis was playing, but no Gafford. They still miss some guys. So no, I think they get the Raptors tomorrow. I don't think they start 0-3. Nah, I don't think so.
I think AD has his way with them tomorrow. I think AD does whatever he wants. I am curious to see how Cooper Flag does with that ball pressure that the Raptors are going to apply on him. And you know Scotty Barnes is going to be all over him. So I'm curious to see how Cooper reacts. But Anthony Davis is going to have his way with those dudes. So I got the Mavs. Denim LV. How long do y'all wait before you look at a team and say something is wrong? How much is enough of a sample to ring some alarm bells?
At least a month. Like I don't need because we still figuring some things out, especially early in the season. I need at least a month before I can go. This is a problem, huge problem. Yeah, because I've seen things get cleaned up really quickly, so I need at least a month.
I need no time at all, chill. Basketball for me is such a day-to-day sport. It's such a day-to-day, good today, bad tomorrow thing to where I don't think there is a time limit. It just depends on what you see. If you see a team that's making a bunch of mental errors and just not taking care of the ball, and that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? If you see a team where you got big men that don't rebound, that's an issue. You know what I mean? You don't got any wings that want to get after it, play defense, and run the floor. That's an issue. So I need one game, and I'm gonna be like, whoa, what's going on here? Now, if the next day things change. But basketball is just an ever-changing sport as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Alan R. This is gonna be an MVP race to remember, fellas. Chill. Give me seven. Give me 7 guys. 7 guys that are going to be in that race based on this first week of basketball.
Giannis, Joker, Luka, SGA.
Should the Joker
Edwards
look MVP worthy?
No, he didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, but like I said.
So chill. Let's only base it on these couple games. Only base it on that. Let's pretend like this is the first season of the NBA ever.
Yep.
This is the first time we've ever seen these dudes. Who is the 7?
All right. So once again, Giannis, Luka, Curry, Donovan Mitchell, Wemby. I can't believe I took Wemby out. Those 5. Did I say? I said Curry. Did I say Anthony Edwards? Yeah.
Yeah. Curry, Wemby.
No, I did.
Oh, you didn't?
Anthony Edwards, and I'm missing one.
Got to be Aaron Gordon, right?
Yes, Aaron Gordon. Yes. Yes, Aaron Gordon.
Gotta be Aaron Gordon.
Yes. Yeah. Did I say SGA?
I don't know. I don't think so.
If I didn't say SGA too, yes.
Okay. Let's just make it 10 and throw VJ Edgecombe in there and Franz Wagner too, y'all. Let's forget about it. Chill. Jeremy Grant. Now, I know he's not going to be in the MVP race, but Jeremy Grant's been showing out.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Love that guy, man. I love that guy. Eric Espinoza. Always appreciate y'all, fellas, especially when I'm out working on my route. Keep up the great work as usual, y'all.
That's what we here for, brother. That's exactly. We here for you. Like this dude right here in the UPS truck, this dude right here in the Amazon truck, we here for him. That's what we here for.
No doubt. Just got a couple more super chats, y'all. Let's get through them. I see we almost still got a full lobby in the back.
Because Cheerio is on my case.
We're over time, y'all.
Yeah, Cheerio's on my case.
It's been a busy episode. We appreciate y'all pulling up, but we're not going to get back to the lobby. I see all of y'all. I'm going to remember who you are. Pull up next week. Pull up on Thursday. Get here early, and I'll make y'all a priority, no doubt. But Cheerio is not going for that today. Cowboy Bob. Swiper and I have no beef. It's just creative criticism. If you say something, you should defend it. That's why I like the show. Don't run. At Void Century, stand on business. Okay, Void, getting called out in the super chat. Luka is a problem. Wemby coming. Go New York, go.
Yep.
Man, Void, what you do to Cowboy, Void? Wooly Bobcat. Only thing that sucks for Luka is he isn't going to get the amount of wins necessary to win MVP.
That's where I'm at with it, Will. That's where I'm at, Bobcat. I don't think that they're going to win enough games for him to win it. That's where I'm at with it.
Okay. I don't know, y'all. Don't forget, Bron's on the way back. Like, Bron will be here.
And he got to see that ox and be like, yo, I'm not getting in the way of this. I'm not. I'm not getting in the way of this. No.
Yeah, but when Bron gets back, that means less Gabe Vincent minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Bron's gonna be back. This team is about to be crazy. I don't know what y'all not seeing. Jigsaw puzzle. How about them Jays? First pinch hitter grand slam in World Series history. Second youngest pitcher to start in 78 years. Jays in 6 locked in.
Well, I just saw Seattle beat Toronto in the first 2 games at home and then lose the series. So I'm not tripping on the Dodgers losing game 1 on the road. I ain't tripping on that at all. Nope.
Yeah. Stacks timing is different. I got time to call. Chill, stop putting all of us New York fans in a box. That's why we had a fake beef in the first place. I'm proud of you, Ox. You just.
It's just so hard, Stacks. I swear it's so hard because Knicks fans drive me fucking crazy. And y'all ain't all like that, but you're right, though. You're right, Stacks. I do. I can't put y'all all in the box because not all of y'all suck. Not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all do, man. A lot of Knicks fans suck. They do.
Yeah. Shout out to Stacks. Shout out to the New York Knickerbockers, man. We see y'all. Shout out to my man OG Anunoby, the best player on that basketball team. The source with the final super chat of the day. Matas Buzelis will be who you think Chet is. 100.
What? Oh.
I don't know if he'll be who we think Chet is. I'm not saying he won't. I don't know. He might even be better than Chet. But I don't know if he lines up with what I expect from Chet as far as play style and what they bring to the table, though.
Right. I don't know about that.
Well, that's it, y'all. We went a little overtime, but we had to get to make sure we got to all the super chats because that's what we do. We had to talk about good ball from last night. Of course, today there will be some good hoops again. Let me just real quick before we get out of here, run them down to let y'all know what to look out for. Today you have Chicago.
Leaving. Okay. We're going. we leaving right now. I'm sorry, guys. This is Claire.
Yeah, today we have Chicago versus Orlando. We have the Thunder versus the Hawks. We have Charlotte versus the Sixers. We have the Indiana Pacers versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And last but not least, we have the Phoenix Suns taking on the Denver Nuggets. Y'all make sure y'all tap in and watch some basketball today. Take care of yourself. Chill.
One more super chat.
Did we? Oh, just came through. I didn't see that. Denim LV. Don't even got nothing crazy to say. I'm just glad the season is back. W show as always.
Basketball is back. Basketball is back. It's
So
great to see you guys. Y'all know where to find me and the big fella. We're on a panel every day, Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern, right? 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. Me and the big fella, we right here. Thursday, 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock on Saturday. You know where to find us. We ain't hard to find. We will see you soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. If you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, call my big fella. He'll make sure that you get home. He got you. We will see you guys soon. Thanks for joining us. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. Good to see you guys.
Don't forget the press box tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to learn a little football talk, get on there. Them dudes are talking great talk. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive, y'all.
Don't do that.
Peace.
Later.